Just do it. Welcome to Humanity Unboxed. Good morning, my friend. I'm glad to see you this morning.
Yeah, I'm glad to too. Yeah,
Yes.
and we
Yeah,
will try to get through this.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough time, and this is the proof we are all interconnected.
Yeah.
Because I don't see happy people running around here. You know that
Yeah.
even in places where happy people are.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. No, it's a very tough time for a lot of people. There's some
For all humanity, for
crazy
all
stuff,
humanity.
crazy stuff happening, yes,
Yeah,
in all of humanity. And because we're all interconnected, we feel
yeah,
it.
we
Um,
feel it.
Whoever, I mean, it doesn't even matter about sides and nonsense like that. When someone suffers, and if there's so many people that are suffering, it affects us, definitely, all of us.
Yeah, and because also we pay with our taxes. We work hard to pay for our taxes, and we give taxes instead of building our homes, making our things better, and everything gets more expensive. And because the top people play, they just play an ego game. Because how would we be,
But it
just
doesn't affect
imagine how?
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it doesn't affect them.
Mm.
Your life is not in danger. Your money is not in danger. You have a constant flow of money, and I don't know
Yeah. So
what
they
what
can
what.
do whatever they want. And you know, I do not consent. Like, we
Yeah,
don't choose these actions of
yeah,
crazy men.
yeah.
I don't care which one it is. I'm going as far as saying all leaders in this world are crazy
Yeah,
humans.
they're not. Also, the leaders are not leaders that are elected leaders, and I mean they're not elected from. They're leaders elected, but
Yeah.
not representing what they should do. They should do when you are elected. When I say, Michelle, can you take care of my cat? Okay,
Mm.
I elected you to take care of my cat, not to slaughter the cat and let it die.
But I also don't tell you I love cats, and it's a lie. Like, I don't lie to you about my love for
Exactly.
cats. I
Yeah,
actually do love cats.
yeah.
So that's where the issue lies. It's all everything that everybody is elected on is built on lies and deceit
On human
and smoke
centricity,
and
but
mirror.
then does system relevant action.
Yeah.
They say, yeah, we will take care of you, we will make sure that stuff, and then nothing, and then they constantly, and they get away with it because we are so benevolent. This shows, I think it's wonderful to see that even in such an obvious BS stuff,
Yeah.
from the top, that people are just, oh my God, they just accept it. And we have to, and we talk about value of 101.
Yeah.
Not, this is taken away, the system relevance takes away from the 101 value because it generalizes, it makes a game out of it, and you want to play in this monopoly game on top, and you run out of money, and so you start a war. you know
Yeah, but then you also, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, this
no
current
say
war that's going on is the newest one, should I say that way? The person that just did what he did on Saturday, on,
Yeah,
as you said, on summer solstice, was the one that said he is not doing those things anymore. I mean, like, can
because he's
someone
not in
ever be
charge.
accountable? Is anybody ever accountable?
No, because you, those, of course, why, if I destroy your country, I don't want to be known, because revenge. Nobody wants the revenge. You see, it's all fear based. Even the people behind the people that nobody knows. So 99% of people don't know about him.
Yeah,
They 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 do stuff, and they don't, and it's generalized. It's like it's manipulating all these people, and they don't want to ever be found out, because they know themselves what they would do. They would
yeah,
retaliate, they would do, so they want to not know, so they use idiots to,
yeah,
basically,
yeah, yeah,
to rep to do their bidding, and
yeah,
they sell themselves. All these leaders are not themselves, it. I mean, it's
yeah.
just every they're not themselves. I have no feeling of any leader that be themselves, and that has ever been. I've never ever in my 66 years of life, I've never, ever seen a leader that is themselves. Because when I met the leaders, I met a lot of leaders.
Yeah.
When I met the leaders, they were a different person.
See, I think they are. Sorry, I'm actually now coming back with something that there is one man, and he's a British, he's an English guy, which wouldn't be normal for me to, you know, kind of go there's, and that's Jeremy Corbyn. You know, he is, I think, who he says he is, and he stands up for the underdog, and you know, isn't that what a leader is? You know.
Yes, it's not for the underdog, because the underdog is lifted to cut off.
For the real person, I mean, he's
normal,
not just standing up for the popular opinion.
For him and you, and not just for him, and not just for you. See, that's what I don't like either. When I'm gonna Maria Teresa, I give everything. No, you should be for us. You shouldn't even see a difference between, you know, the people. My job is to represent people, and you know, I was a politician. So my job is to represent people. You know, that's my job. That's not. I'm not saying, oh, how can I get a higher politician? How can I get more money? I am here to make sure when people give me their vote, and I was voted by 6 or 7 councilmen to have that position. Yeah, it was art, but I would take that seriously, and not the systemic that I'm not gonna get sued. I take that seriously because 6 people believe that I can do it, and I did it, and that's the one of oneness, the value, you know.
Yeah.
I cannot manipulate that and say, no, I want to be a higher person I want to get more contracts. And if I get off the politics, I want to just live perfectly. No, that is all non-interested. I have to be in the now, representing you who voted for me.
But you also have to represent yourself as who you are.
Exactly. Not just say, oh, Michelle needs this and that and that, and I have nothing.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Us. We are all one.
Yeah, and that ties in beautifully with the change of name I did for our thing today, and this is why your uniqueness is of value. And I think, you know, in line with the conversation that we're having now around politics, or you know, representing something, conformity, like it's almost as soon as there is a position, suddenly, and I see it in business, I see it in whatever it is, as soon as the person gets the thing that they've wanted, suddenly I have to now conform. I can't be unique anymore, because then I'll lose it. So
the moment you lose it, the moment you become the conformity, you lose it. And I'm not talking about you can you know, you and I have a ritual here, but we are having as light as possible. So you're not saying it, okay, 5 minutes that's going on, in 1 minute this is going on, and then we have to do our usual thing. And you know that there's so many systems that get overpopulated with this, because they found out from research that has impact, but it's only manipulative impact. It's not the true human impact.
And it's also only for a short period. It's a similar thing to knowledge or to anything like that. It works until it doesn't. You know, it's not set in stone. There's no 5-step program that works for everybody. There's no.
That's why I don't like coaching.
No,
I mean, coaching is okay. You are this business. You have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No.
Yeah.
I might 1, 8, 7, 5, whatever. I might think, and I might bring a new point in for this person, because everybody is an individual, and this we can see. How can you fit one of oneness to one of oneness in system? That's the hard thing. That's what we talk about it, and that's why what we work on also, because you can't. There needs to be a new process of, because let's say Claire is doing, you know, whatever, beads or beading and stuff.
Or school, you know, education. She's at school. It doesn't work for her. That way isn't working for her. Yeah. But that doesn't mean there's something wrong with her, you know. It
No,
means that way for her isn't
the
working.
system should serve, because every system's purpose function is to serve humans. Otherwise, the humans can do it themselves. I can take care of my own money. I can hide it. I can take care of my own thing. We can all do our own stuff. We don't need
Yeah.
anybody. We don't need the system. And if the system is actually hurting you, see that the stuff is that system's function, essential function, is to serve,
Mm.
not to hurt people. And there's no accountability or accountability. I'm saying responsibility.
Yeah.
A system cannot give you responsibility, only accountability. It's about anything. Look, these people find out all this stuff, what people did with the pandemic, or all this stuff. Nobody is ever responsible.
No.
People don't even, they say, yeah, I was wrong. I pushed that on you and you had to get the jab. I was wrong. Nobody. And
Yeah.
I just heard that doctors have I have to research that too, but I've just heard somebody that have very high suicide rate. Doctors.
Say that again. Sorry, someone did a
Doctors have a very high suicide rate, and you know the most suicide rate is policemen, because they're constantly with negative.
Yeah, and psychiatrists.
And they hide that to the thing. So Masari said that too in that the SEALs, the top, Green Berets and all this stuff. The moment they stop working, their life destroyed, because they can't.
It's because, I had a friend, very dear friend to me, that committed suicide. He was in a something like that, a South African force. They did stuff that no one should do to other people. I know. And they have to switch that logic, that the fact that what they are doing is so against who they are, they have to what's the word, kind of bypass that when they're in that process.
They
but
control it.
They move away from that bypass and that accountability from themselves takes over.
To detach what they did, to make themselves an AI, to make themselves a machine. And the problem, that's why they never talk. Because I thought that was a rule from the military, never talk. No, it's not. They choose. That's like a unseen thing. I never talk what you did, because they couldn't handle it. If they would repeat it, oh, Michaell, I did this. They couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
It just.
But this is what systems does, though. It creates war, right? So we're talking about war a lot more these days. For a person to go and fight in a war, there's no honor in that. There's no. It doesn't make them a better person.
There's nothing human-centric ever in the history. Don't tell me, before the pharaohs and so. No, there was never ever anything in humans that said the normal human, not the leaders, the humans that have to pay for it.
Yeah.
That they said, oh, I'm paying for the thing, and then I'm gonna get destroyed, and I have to also take that my son was killed, and my daughter was killed, and my husband was killed. I have to take that too. I'm paying to have a war, and so humans always knew that. Pagans knew that. Any war is never wanted. It's talked in. The system talk us in to justify the destruction, the human destruction, which is a system-relevant BS act that is actually, because it doesn't work, it's never enough. It doesn't work, and that's what they do. They just keep telling you, oh, we have to do this, we have to. They not tell me one thing the way the people say, oh, I'm so glad, because since we did this, we are perfect. No, it never. It is always, it's. I mean, South Africa, you know that.
Yeah.
What is better with all the stuff, that system stuff? What is better, instead of just leaving the people alone and let them? I mean, now, not after their system screwed up, leave them alone. But then, if naturally South Africa, it would have been totally okay. Where there are conflicts, there would be conflicts, but there would not be mass killings, mass destruction. This is about the mass. It's about the generalizing. I'm going to eradicate this town. I'm going to do this. Why?
But it's also in the process of creating a disconnect between us and them, between, look at those people, they
Segregation.
are these heathens, or they are like this, they are barbarian, creating an image that isn't real, just to justify an image, an action that is unnecessary, that is unhelpful, really. I mean, what is the point? Just more killing and more destruction. Yeah.
What comes in is very interesting, because it makes sense. But I'm all about the it's never enough, or you are not enough. You are always enough. You're not. Yeah. And what I found out is why you are not enough in the system is because what happens was that the value that the hard asset, water, sunlight, air, CO2, right?
Yeah.
There is no more hard assets. Everybody bought all the land. Everybody bought all the things. There is no hard assets. So everybody looks for hard assets. And then also the system created copying. So an artist that creates a hard assets, a 101. I didn't do copies except of my books, but I always had 101s. And I did 3,000. You have to work, and if you don't have a joy, then don't do it. So the 101 is if there's no hard asset, because you can be copied. So that's the only hard assets is what Earth gave us. That's the air, water, land, and that's gone. And the people, it's gone to equality. There's no equality. It's just gone. She's rich, I'm poor, and the richest get richer because they selling the money is paper. The treasury bonds are paper. Everything is paper. It's not worth anything. And what I see that never enough is because people. That's why Bitcoin. Because I looked in Bitcoin and I said, I want to understand Bitcoin. I really want to understand what that is. And what it is a asset creation. Humans want to just say, hey, we are honest with everything, and Bitcoin is the most thing, but we want to do some asset creation. But tomorrow, if somebody else owns it or whatever, it can be gone if the people are not honest. So they tried systemic problems to create hard assets. But it can never be compared to your home, to your if you own the piece where you think. And you shouldn't even, nobody should. I'm not saying communist, but you're here while you're alive. You are the steward of your water, and you share it with your family. Not just like, hey, this is mine, and I'm not even living in it.
Yeah.
So, which is all over the world. We know that. We have talked about this. It's all over the world because there's no hard assets. What's really worth is not the money. The hard asset is worth something. Because it doesn't matter how much the money is worth, so it goes to inflation, or you can always sell your piece of property, which is insane. And I think that's why we get to wars, because we have to use all our creativity in the box to actually lie to people, to create value, right now, as much as we can, and I'm gonna go deeper on this because I wrote a lot of stuff down and stuff, but it's amazing. That's why we always get to I can't handle it. This is too much. I have to, and because the top people know it, they own it, and the politicians, I feel, take money out of the system to buy hard assets, to buy a home, to buy real estate, to buy parts of water rights, part of air things, or CO2 credits. It's insane that humans, I don't understand. We are so smart. We're so aware that we say, now let's tax the air with the CO2 credit.
So,
I mean, Your water, it costs you something. Your
Mm.
air, your electricity, all costs you something. And now they want to
Yet,
cover.
you know, we pay for these things,
Yeah,
but yet these government institutions or scientists, because as
yeah.
soon as you call someone a scientist, then they have all
It's a
the
religion. It's a religion. It's another
it's
religion.
horrible. I mean, science is there to be proven wrong. Now you can't go and mess with
No,
nature
no,
and then
no,
say, but it's for
no. They
science.
insist they're right. They insist they have a finding. Let's say there's 5 kids. They play in the sandbox, right?
Mm,
And everybody do does thing. And they said, no, I did the sandbox. I did the sandbox castle right.
yeah,
And nobody can say it's wrong. So
yeah.
I'm the best. I'm the winner. And
Yeah,
that's a
because I
religion.
have the loudest voice or the most money, or
Yeah,
look at all
whatever. Yeah.
these people also think that I have the best sandcastle.
That's why
Um,
experts are rarely right. You know,
well, you know,
because they're
there's
experts in their sandcastle. They're
yeah,
only experts in their sandcastle. You always have to see the whole. You
yeah,
cannot go just. I'm sorry, Michelle. From this works for me. That must work for you. And that's the individual. We come always back in the individual value.
mm. It's like it makes me think of that quote that's been misquoted for all of our lives about a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
And it isn't because a jack of all trades is the bad thing. It's because the full quote says that it's actually better to be a jack of all
Yeah.
trades because
Yeah.
then you get to experience more and you have a bigger picture.
and and a feel for the whole. You have a feel
Exactly.
for the whole. If
Yeah.
you're an expert, a quote unquote expert, system expert,
Yeah.
you're just in this little. I know everything about number 2 pencils. I know
Yeah.
everything about them. What else? And then I don't know that the one number 2 pencil is a perfect tool to hurt somebody or to I can't get the connection.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I create my tool, you know.
But outside of the whole,
Yeah,
so if I only, as you say, as if I only know this one tool, then I don't know. But if I combine it with the right piece of paper or
yeah,
whatever,
right piece
or
of
a
people.
color,
I mean,
or
even right piece of people. Like
yeah,
right now, we're
yeah,
not giving you the authority to have that.
yeah.
You can have
Who are
whatever you
you?
want. Yeah.
Why do I need anybody's permission to breathe the air or plant my
Yeah. Or
vegetables or whatever
and
it is?
drink water.
Swim in
Drink.
the water of the rivers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a amazing thing. And somewhere along the lines in these developed countries,
Yeah.
people think that it's dangerous or it's
Because
not
no, because then they
allowed.
can sell you something. So if I'm saying it's dangerous for you, Michelle, to drink in the river, even though you drink for 10 years or 20 years in the
Yeah,
river, and I say that, then you stop the river and you buy water.
yeah,
It's always that it's never enough because we have to create value instead of quality, instead of depth,
mm,
instead of growing the things. And when somebody's powerful, they can. I mean, look at how many people they don't know what's going on, but they just keep creating money. They create luck. They're lucky. That's their vibration. How about us all finding out about their vibration? There's no finite vibration, but saying, "Oh, Michelle, tell me about you making money or you making art. Tell me that's why I say I always want to teach people to create, not just looking at the end result.
or copying, or
Yeah, or
copying
copying
the
something. Yeah,
someone else's action and believing that you're going to have
yeah,
the same result, because then
yeah,
there's no creativity, there's no creation involved.
yeah. I
Um,
love, by the way, your new thing, and you
thank
you
you.
saw you got a lot of
Yeah,
people that like it.
yeah, yeah. It's still a progress, but
I
yeah,
understand. It
it's,
doesn't matter. It's always perfect because
yeah,
it's never perfect. It's always perfect because
exactly.
it's never perfect,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I can tinker at it for hours.
And years, and it doesn't matter if it's never. I have had one thing. It's called life,
Mm,
and I called it life because it took me 7 years to finish. I could
yeah,
finish the outside, and I came into this core, and I couldn't figure out the core for
yeah.
7 years.
Oh
And
wow.
I was like almost sick of it because I looked at it and said, God, But that was also the challenge. It was the challenge and the thing, because the outside looked so, it's like a vortex I did, and it was so thing, and then I couldn't.
Now you're gonna have to show me at some point what that looks like.
No, look at it. It's I show you. I sent you a thing.
Yeah.
It's not nothing. It's nothing thing. I just couldn't. It's a square. I work on squares.
Yeah.
So the square, I couldn't
square it in the right way.
I did the square from outside in, which is actually, that is like, it's from inside out. The 101 is, right? So, so the inner is from inside out.
Yeah.
So usually I start paintings where I say, oh my God, I love that yellow that is behind Michaell. I love that yellow. I'm going to get the same hue of yellow and create some of my own. I just take that vibration of yellow. That's how I usually work. Or I have a dream or something, and I said, oh my God, this looks awesome. I mean, I'm impressed with what I dream. And then I do it, and then I say, wow. And then something totally different might be coming out, even what I dreamt, but it comes out and think. And this one I did from outside in.
Yeah. Which is obviously the right process that the process you had to go through for that one. There is no right or wrong within that.
Yeah. But it takes longer. It takes longer. If you want to have self-esteem and you wait that people say, oh, Michaell, I love you. Oh, Michaell, you're the greatest. Oh, Michaell, whatever. No. If you wait for that, at first you don't own it.
Yeah.
And because it takes you so long, and it takes you very long. The outside evaluation takes you forever to integrate it and says, oh my God, Michaell loves me, or that person.
And it can change at any point, though.
Exactly.
Someone else's view of you or their undying love or whatever it is isn't forever. It can change at any.
There's flow always going on. Life just keeps flowing. We just react. 8 billion react to it.
That's it.
In different perspectives.
Yeah, exactly. So let's close it off with our question that we started with, or that was supposed to be our theme.
What was the question?
Why is your uniqueness of value? And I suppose it's uniqueness is just a word. I know you don't really like uniqueness. Why is your one of oneness of value? Why is it? It's actually a question.
Because we are part of nature, and what is valuable. If you cut out nature right now, if I'm cutting nature out right now, nothing. Where's the value? Tell me, what can exist out of nature and human? We are part of nature. What can exist? Nothing. Nothing can exist. There wouldn't be no value. There would no value.
Yeah, for me, definitely not. I don't understand, walking outside barefoot or swimming in a river pool or, being in nature. But then there are people that can live in the metaverse forever and never have that embodied feeling. I suppose because we're not all the same, obviously. I know that for a fact. But surely we all need that interaction and engagement with nature for us fully.
That's why it's valid. It's also system built. That's what I'm saying. Because we are all different. There's no 2 Michells. There's no 15 Michaels. And because we are one, we can't be copied. See, we not yet, but perhaps some, but we can't be copied. I think in the soul we can never be copied. But so because we are 101, that shows that's a hard value, right? I said, with the Bitcoin, we want to make up creative from outside in a value that can be copied, and there's a 101. But they say now with the quantum computers, you can figure out even Bitcoin protection. You can crack Bitcoin. So it's always, the essential value of 101 of being like there's water, there's air, there is the earth, there's the human, and the other thing is to to exploit it, to exploit the earth, to exploit humans, to make them for people that are not aware about themselves. They you know,
Yeah.
I think these leaders, they're not aware of their own value of what they want, because so many leaders get rich and get successful and they're not functioning because they haven't created from inside out. They have created from outside in.
Yeah.
And that's why you look at all these leaders and they all have issues, and they, you know, they hide their issues, but when something comes out, the people are so happy because they see at least he's human. I think they're not think, oh, I'm happy to hurt first perhaps, but then he says at least, but I understand, and we forgive. You know, we humans forgive people when they are human. When I say, you know, I'm really depressed,
It's
I
very
didn't feel
difficult
good.
to forgive a person that's been bombing another country for 30 years or been, you know, a part of that process.
Imagine the fear, though. I mean, we don't have that fear. We cannot even fathom the fear that these people on top have, that only got it from the outside, and they have to be, their evaluation is from the outside. So
Yeah.
imagine
It's very
you.
difficult to be compassionate for a bully. You know, it's very
I'm not.
you can understand I can
I
understand
know
why,
you
you know,
are
where
more
it comes from,
masculine than me in that.
but it's very difficult
No,
to
I
be
understand.
compassionate for a
And
bully.
you know what I don't understand is take a side. I don't like taking a side,
No.
because I'm constantly flowing. I might take a side now for you and then for somebody else. I don't
Mm.
I don't take a side, not because I don't want to choose, but I understand taking a side is cutting myself,
But we
my own
also,
growth.
yeah, but we also never have the full picture. We
Yeah,
only have perspectives
exactly.
that we are given.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
So it's
That was
difficult. I mean, it's easy to choose a side with what we know, but we
yeah,
never know anything really. You know, we
yeah.
only know snippets, and some of us have kind of gone in and found as many snippets as
Awareness.
we
We
can,
got more awareness. Yeah.
but we still don't know.
Yeah. I
But we
would
also
never
need
say
to
I
be
know.
aware.
I would
Yeah,
never ever think so. I understand a lot, but I'm not knowing anything.
yeah,
I would never say that, because the more I know, I know nothing, and that's easy
yeah.
to say, and people use it,
Mm.
but it's true, because I'm not aware. It's the awareness. It's okay. I understand this is jealousy, but when I understand why I'm jealous, you know, and you might think jealousy, understand jealousy too, but when you know why you are jealous, you have a layer of awareness on jealousy
Yeah,
that is exponential to other people that just using jealousy. Oh, I feel jealous at that person or whatever, but
yeah,
it is really a meaning. Every emotion has a meaning, you know.
yeah. That's interesting because someone said that in a call the other day around NLP as
Yeah,
to every every action has a or every behavior has a positive action or something like that. It just made it clicked into place as to, you know, what is the underlying behavior
yeah.
that
In jealousy is, for example, or at least what I resonate with truth is that that you can have that because you're not jealous. Let's say there's you're jealous at the Mercedes or the supercar that your neighbor bought, and but you're not jealous at every person that has a supercar. You That's would be envy, and that would be other
yeah,
thing. And then so the jealousy means that you can have that. The good husband you see, other people see in you, they can have it, and they're jealous.
mm,
And first, to get attention, you are like, oh my god, I can't stand it, yeah. But
yeah,
then you get it,
yeah,
and that's awareness, and that's why we say always awareness and unboxing. We need
yeah.
to unbox everything. When we don't like unbox stuff,
Yeah,
we're
and
stuck.
even every unboxing of the same thing is different because there's different layers that come out. It's like a spiral,
Exactly, yeah.
isn't it? So
And
we know.
that's the beauty of life. That's why if everybody doesn't look the same, it's like, imagine
The
everybody
point.
looks, dresses the same,
I
everything.
know.
I
Yeah.
mean, it would be so boring life. I mean, people are not bored. They're all into consuming. They're not in the creation yet. I mean,
But they're also into conforming, oh, I behave in this way, therefore I have a label, therefore I have to take medication so that I can be more like other people that behave in that way. But that's not true.
And they think the other people, we always think, and I said that last time, that you always feel good because I see you happy on the thing.
On social media. Oh, look at the beautiful. No.
I understand. No, everybody's depressed because we depress our emotions. We suppress our emotion. So it's depression. And which I say always, the opposite of depression is expression. Express yourself, create, do stuff. So you get you get more into balance, into nature.
Yeah, and get uncomfortable because that's where you grow.
It just is. There's nothing you can. It's not like you can do something to be not uncomfortable. You can temporarily do something, take drugs or whatever, but that also never makes you happy. Drugs never make you normal how you want to feel. Drugs make you just not feel the pain. But it doesn't.
Well, it can also open up neural networks and also, take us out of our boxes.
It's not an either-or. It's never an either-or.
It can
it's never an either-or. You're depressed, get these Xanax or whatever.
Or psilocybin, or whatever it is. There are different ways for us to aid our
explore for the human potential. And one-on-one is, and that's actually the perfect ending. That's exactly the thing of the one-on-one, is that we all experience different kinds, and we know in the thing what is aligned with nature to find back home, to find back to ourselves, to find back to our oneness, that actually you and I can be one and are one. And then, and in that oneness, we allow the other person to be themselves.
To express themselves in their uniqueness.
And I hope that people get a sense what we try to communicate, because it's hard to put word to awareness. That they get that it's so important that we praise the one-on-one is that we are and the others. And when you stick on that, you're not judging them because, hey, they're different. It's just how they are. They experience different. They have chosen different. It's okay.
Michael, thank you very much. I appreciate your uniqueness. We will talk again next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.